Hey. Would you be interested in doing an interview?
Yeah, sure. For what?
I like to talk to people about what they believe.
Okay, like religious philosophy?
It could be that. It could be politics. It could be like relationships. I've had people talk about what they believe about other people. Anything you're willing and feeling comfortable about talking.
That I believe in?
Uh-huh. I'd prefer it to be something you hold true.
The what?
Something that you hold true.
Something I hold true. Well, religion I couldn't hold anything true. Politics, I don't really get into politics too much. I mean, I don't commentate on politics too much.
I'm sorry. What was the first thing you said?
Religion.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't believe in anything religious.
Oh, cool. Okay.
I guess what I do believe in is if... I don't really believe in anything. I mean...
Before we... Are you willing to, maybe look for something we find and try?
I mean, I'm always open, to anything.
I try to respect people's times, and so I time it for 5 minutes.
What is it, like religious?
No. I try to be very non-biased. I just try to ask people what they believe and why they believe it. And, if someone has truth, I want to know it.
Okay.
You be willing?
Yeah, I'll give you 5 minutes.
Okay, cool. Okay. All right. So you said you don't believe any religion. What does that entail for you? Why do you choose to not identify as religious?
I choose not to identify as religious. It's not really a choice. Well, I guess it is a choice I made. It's more of just the fact that, you can really never know. And if there is, I've heard a lot of people say it's a feeling they get, or it's, they somehow have this faith that, I don't understand that because I've never experienced it. So either way.
Do you see faith as dishonest?
No, not at all.
Okay. Why do you think people have faith?
I think a lot of people don't have faith. I think most people have fear because they were brought up to be afraid. I think, some people can kind of give themselves a placebo effect and trick themselves into having faith. And I think other people legitimately feel something. I don't know that, but I think that there could be people that legitimately have faith and are, pushed towards something. Yeah.
So would you say you're non-religious partially because of how you were brought up?
No, I wasn't brought up super religious, but, I had several pastors in the family. Went to church occasionally. Both my parents were Christian. And they didn't, I don't feel like they forced it on me in a way that would have turned me off to it. It's just, as I got older and read more and met people from other cultures and all over the world, kind of start to think, well, I guess I'm not the only one who thinks they're correct.
Yeah. So you don't believe in a God, is that correct?
Not necessarily, I don't necessarily believe there's a God. I think...
Do you have a lack of belief in a God? Is that a fair way of putting it?
It's not that I don't think one exists. I don't know either way. I don't believe one way or the other. Sometimes I lean towards more that God does exist.
Yeah?
Because I feel like something had to have created everything. Scientists can explain a lot, but they can't explain this. According to science, this shouldn't exist. So
let's say we put it on a scale. 0 being God doesn't exist and 100 being absolute God exists. Where would you fall on that from 0 to 100?
60 towards God.
60?
Yeah. I think I would lean more towards it.
What would convince...
Not necessarily a God that most people believe in, but like a creator. So.
I see. What would convince you to move to the 100?
It would have to be a personal experience, like something that I saw myself and witnessed or felt. It couldn't be a book. It couldn't be somebody telling me something. It would have to be something divine, for sure, is going on.
How could we know something was divine?
How could we know something was divine? I guess... Well, if it was divine, I think that you could feel that. I think if something is omnipotent and divine, that it wouldn't... One, it wouldn't be something that I could just... It wouldn't be something I could just understand, It would be something that could impose that feeling on me.
Let's say we have a situation that we don't understand. Like, for example, lightning. At one time, we didn't understand what lightning was. Could we say if we didn't understand something and we had that experience that it could be God?
Say it now.
So, let's say like Zeus, people say Zeus throws lightning bolts. And we don't understand what lightning is, and we just feel that that's the best reason for lightning existing. Is saying Zeus the cause of lightning a way of thinking about it, or?
Sure. I mean, you know, I don't think that people were necessarily, you know, people that used to say that Zeus created lightning were necessarily dumber than people that, you know, have explained it scientifically. I don't think that's just their way of, I guess, explaining it. In a way, electricity and things like that and physics are kind of magic in their own right, you know, maybe from somebody who doesn't understand them.
So if people believe that, does that make it true?
No, it doesn't make, well, not, arguably for them it is true because in their, you know, in their world, in their mind, it is real because it's what dictates their lives, but for others, no, I don't think it's...
Sort of like a personal truth?
Not for me, maybe for them.
Yeah, for them?
Yeah.
If I asked you what's the difference between a personal truth and a belief, what would you say that would be, if any?
I guess a personal truth would be something that holds true for everybody, that you think holds true for everybody.
And beliefs are the same thing?
Not necessarily. Well, I don't know, because I think a belief is more along the lines of, for instance, I believe that certain things are wrong. However, I don't think that everybody should be kept from doing it, you know?
Yeah.
Just because somebody else believes something else that I think is wrong, they think it's right. Well, that's up, you know.
So if we hold a belief, let's say we believe the earth is flat, does that make it true that the earth is flat?
No, I don't think so. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's your 5 minutes. If you want to continue, we can. Or
what are you a part of, just out of curiosity? What are you doing this morning?
Honestly, I am really curious about what people believe.
Yeah.
I really like discussing with people. Something that I like to do is if someone doesn't hold true beliefs, I like to see if I can get them to think about it.
Yeah.
And maybe come to better justified beliefs, whether that be the belief they hold now or the belief that they might hold later. But I try not to tell people what to believe.
What do you believe?
I try to have justified reasons for what I believe.
Scientifically or faith or, you know?
I don't take things on faith.
Okay.
When it comes to the belief in a God, I'm about a 4%.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. Then you're taking faith that God doesn't exist, which you don't know.
Well, I don't believe God doesn't exist.
So you think there's a possibility? I mean, that's where I'm at with the 50-50 kind of thing, is that I kind of lean towards 60 because there is a little bit of proof that something was created, but I don't know if he exists. I don't know.
What do you think would be the best proof for God existing?
Honestly, for him to come down and talk to me and make me feel something and know for sure, which, you know, some people say they felt that, but I haven't,
So let's say I make a claim about something. Let's say I have, I don't know, an invisible pet dragon in my garage. Mm-hmm. And if someone can't prove me wrong, does that mean that there's an invisible pet dragon in my garage?
No, I mean, there's not. It's.
Does that mean we should, you know, maybe be iffy about whether there's an invisible pet?
Absolutely.
You think so?
Agree with, yeah, you should always question everything, and you shouldn't take, you know, again, I don't think anybody knows. Even, I don't think those who say God exists, I think, you know, there's a 50% chance they're wrong, and those who say God does not exist, I think there's, you know, it's kind of just...
Yeah.
How can you be so absolute? Not you, but people.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, thank you for sharing.
Yep, thank you for having a discussion with me. Appreciate it.
Good one. If you want to talk again later, I'm here.
I'll be passing by later on. So.
Okay.
How's it going?
Good. How's it going with you?
Not too bad.
How was the walk?
What's that?
How was the walk?
It's pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah. Mushroom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We already interviewed. I remember your tattoo. Yeah, you were the person that was at the 60% mark. Correct?
Yeah. I was thinking about that. I was thinking more like 51%.
51? Wow, you moved down. Why did you move down?
Really out there. Just because, you know, I feel like 10% is too much to put on the other side.
Yeah?
Yeah. So 1% would be good there.
Okay,
Yeah.
so 51%.
51%.
So what's to say you won't move lower?
I don't know, probably not a whole lot right now, honestly.
Probably not a whole lot. Yeah, people don't tend to move a whole lot in short times.
Yeah. These guys move a lot in pretty short time.
Yeah, they do. So, I was curious. I was thinking about our talk a little bit.
Yeah.
And so you said you're now at the 51% mark.
Yeah.
If you were to find out God was, you know, if you were to come to a belief in a God, what would convince you?
I don't know. It would have to be something, you know, personal.
Yeah. I think I asked you that.
Yeah.
So then, moving from that, if you come to the belief in a God and it wasn't correct, if it wasn't true, would you feel bad about that?
I wouldn't feel bad as long as my heart and my my logic was in the right place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you were to dedicate your life and time that you have now to something that wasn't true, that wouldn't bother you?
No, because I don't dedicate anything to myself that I don't think is true to myself.
Okay.
So I spend my time doing things like this.
Well, thanks for coming and telling me that. That makes me feel really good.
Yeah, I was thinking about it on the way out there.
I love making people think.
I appreciate it.
See you, man.
Have a good one.